Okay, the thing that's easy to say and easy to understand, we're relieved. We feel very lucky, feel very fortunate. We're still playing, but the fact of the matter is we're still playing. These two guys up here, Kennedy, I thought was awesome. I thought he controlled everything inside, 25 points, 14 rebounds, 11 of 13. I thought he was just sensational. Justin made, I think, 3 big threes in the second half when the tempo got going up and down a little bit more. It was a little weird there at the end because I'm standing almost on line with that 3 that I think it was Dorsey that shot it, and there was no way that ball was going to go in the basket. And it bounced around. It went below the rim, and it crawled back over top and went back in. And so that was pretty weird. But and then we missed a bunch of free throws. But we talk and work on little things all the time. I tell them if you line up on the rebound spot, when your teammate's shooting a free throw, you're trying to rebound. You're either trying to tip it out or get a rebound. And Kennedy went there. No, Joel, I think, first went there and missed, and then Kennedy went there and missed, or vice versa. And then Kennedy got the second rebound. And so we do work on those things. We do talk about those things, but feel very lucky, but that's okay. It doesn't make any difference. We're still one of 2 teams playing on Monday night.
Questions for the student athletes at this time? Student athletes only. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll send a microphone in your direction, and let's start just to the left of the aisle, right here in row number 3.
Brett Friedlander, North State Journal. Kennedy, could you go through that last sequence with the 4 free throws missed and your rebound, and how strange was that? Have you ever been involved in a game that ended like that?
I'm sure I have through my career of basketball, of course. But the main thing is my teammates kept me involved. I got down on myself when I missed the 2 free throws because that definitely could have been good for us. But my main focus was if Joe missed the second free throw, hit the offensive glass hard, because I know earlier in the game I didn't hit the glass, and I looked over at Coach, and he kind of gave me the motion to hit the offensive glass. So I'm going to try to do that to the best of my ability. Jordan Bell kind of went in a little more than I thought he would, so I just got behind him, and the ball fell in my hand.
Continuing with questions for Kennedy or Justin at this time, there's one toward the back on the right side of the aisle.
Kennedy, yesterday you'd mentioned that you do whatever it takes to help the team win. And against Kentucky, that meant taking 4 shots. But tonight, at what point did you realize you're going to have to score buckets to help the team win?
I kind of had that in the back of my mind. I just knew that we had to be aggressive in the paint. Coach told us that it was going to be a man's game, and us 4 big men had to do a great job on the inside. And Isaiah wasn't making any shots. Luke kind of got it going a little bit, and then they kind of took it away. So I just took it upon myself to just try to do the best I could to call for the ball, especially when my teammates got in trouble.
Continuing with questions for the Tar Heel student athletes, if there are any, please raise your hand. There's one in the center of the room. Adam.
Hey, guys. Adam Zagoria for both you guys. You've been to 2 final championship games now in a row without a single one-and-done player on your team. What does that kind of say about the recruiting approach and the approach to North Carolina recruiting? And did either of you think you might be one-and-done when you came in?
And Kennedy, can you answer that first, and Justin second?
Well, I think education is important. My family always preaches that to me. So to answer your question, no, I never thought being one and done. I knew that this was going to be a great program for me, a great coaching staff that would teach me how to become a man over the course of the 4 years. And it's a great outcome, I think. I think I'm a great product from what Coach Williams has started off.
And Justin.
There's nothing bad about, schools that might have a lot of one-and-dones. But coming to a place like this with a coach like Coach and brothers that you can call family for the rest of your life, there's nothing better than that. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the second Final Four that I've been to in my 3 years, and it's the second that he's been to. And so, there's nothing better than winning. And coming to a place like this where you have family, education, the best of the best when it comes to basketball, I don't think it can really get much better.
On the right side up front, Nancy.
Nancy Armour with USA Today Sports. Kennedy, you said that you kind of felt you needed to take it upon yourself. What does that feel like when you know that this could be the last game, that if you don't take it upon yourself, you guys are going home?
I think I know it might have been too late, but I kind of realized that during the Butler game when Coach got on me for not boxing out, and I sat out for a couple minutes. And I just knew that it's important for me to do so, just to help my team out in any way I can. And it takes you a long time to really get over that you don't have to score to be effective. You don't have to shoot all the shots to be effective. You can do other things, rebounding. I told Isaiah that before the game. I know he's been in a slump, but he can rebound the ball. He can get assists. He can get steals and do all those things above. So I just took it upon myself to do the best job I could, whether that was me having a great defensive game, scoring the ball when I can, or getting all the rebounds.
On the left side toward the back, Howie.
Howard Casoy, New York Post. For both players, how do you think the experience of last year's title game will impact how you head into this game?
We'll ask Kennedy to take that first, and then Justin.
I think this is maybe maybe like the 50th time that we've kind of answered a question about that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's a different team. It's a different, I guess, different year. But I mean, we got to go into it. Gonzaga's a totally different team than Villanova was, and so we got to get, whoever has the scout, we got to get used to the scout a little bit. And then at the end of the day, it's just playing as hard as we possibly can when we get out there. I don't know how much we're going to really be thinking about, okay, we saw this last year, so maybe we can change it this year. So I think it's just going out there and playing as hard as we possibly can. Kennedy, anything to add to that?
I think you're always going to have that in the back of your mind because it was a heartbreaking experience for us. We came so far last year. But like Justin said, this is a different team. We have different dynamics. We don't really rely on just one person to score the ball or two people to score the ball. And Bryce and Marcus, they did a tremendous job of leading us last year. I think it's more of a collective effort where everybody has to do a tremendous job of doing the things we do best, which is running the ball up the court, rebounding, and posting up inside.
Toward the front on the left.
Kiera Luck of Carolina Blues for Kennedy or Justin. You guys seemed out of sync the first couple of minutes in the first half. What made everything click for you guys to pull out this win?
Justin, can you take that one first?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that defense that they play, it's totally different than anything that we've seen. I mean, teams like Louisville, they try to play a matchup zone, but with Oregon, it just looked different. And so, we weren't as aggressive, but I think once we kind of found, the spots that we could attack and we had better movement and spacing, I think that's whenever we kind of got into it. And then once we started getting stops, we didn't have to play against a set defense the whole time. And I think that was the biggest part of it is we were able to get out in transition and get better shots out of things that we wanted to do.
And Kennedy?
I think our main objective every game is to hit teams early in the mouth, whether that's attacking them on the offensive end or playing great defense. And they did a tremendous job of getting up in us. I think we kind of got rattled a little bit, but once we settled down and we recognized they were switching those defenses, and we had to adjust and move as fast as we can on the offensive end. Everything opened up for us.
We'd like to thank Kennedy and Justin for joining us here in the main interview room. They're going to rejoin their teammates back in the locker room, which remains open for availability for student athletes.
Good job, guys. Good job.
We'll take the first question for Coach Williams all the way to the left up front. Zach.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Your last game against Kentucky, Kenny had 17 rebounds, 4 blocks. Obviously tonight, one of the best games of his career. Do you think it's just a senior not wanting to see it end? Anything specific for what you've seen these last 2 games from him?
Well, I think I'm hoping that's what it was, too, because I want the guys to have that kind of focus. But I think it was 2 completely different games. I thought we had a big advantage inside, but we weren't showing that. Particularly Isaiah early was really struggling, and Kennedy was having some success. It bothered me when he got his 3rd foul and his 4th foul because they're both little reach-in fouls. And big guys, I've always said, should never make fouls with their hands below their waist kind of thing. And but it was 2 completely different games, but he was our only guy inside that was scoring. I mean, I look down there and I see that Isaiah's 1 for 12, Joel was 2 for 14, so we needed more offense from Kennedy tonight than we have a lot of games. And I think he stepped up and did that, and I just thought he was sensational around the basket, and not only just on the offensive boards but on the defensive boards both. But I'm sure he's got tremendous focus as a senior, and he wants to keep playing, but so do the other guys and so do the other teams. So a lot of times it's just, are you playing well on that one specific night?
Toward the back to the right of the aisle.
Jacob Palmer, San Francisco Examiner. Coach, what goes through your mind when you're in the last 5 seconds and you watch your players miss 4 straight free throws? Oh,
jump off the building, something like that. Something's going on. You know, if you go back and look at it on our defense, we were playing pretty well defensively, except we were fouling them. They made 15 free throws in the second half. They're 15 or 16. And in the stretch where we had it to 10, it got down to 4 or 5, and it was almost every one was on foul shots. And so I was frustrated with that. I was frustrated when that ball seemed to crawl in the hole, but you got to have that kind of toughness that the kid had to make it. And I still thought we were all right, and I felt like that we would finish the game better than we did, to say the least. But it is something that we do stress on the free throws. We don't just line up there and turn around and start to go back. We do try to rebound those free throws. And I think it was, Joel missed 4 out of 5. Theo missed a 1, and then he made 2 in a row. And then Kennedy missed those 2. Joel missed those 2. But, yeah, I didn't like it. There's no question about it. They didn't have any timeouts left. I was hoping we'd get up 3 so we could be able to foul them and not allow them to take a 3-point shot, but they struggled shooting the ball. We caught them on a night that they didn't shoot the ball very well, too. I mean, second half they're 3 of 18 from 3, but, they can make free throws because there's a reason they call them that. You can't guard them then.
In the front on the right side, Nicole.
Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. Roy, what does it feel like? Obviously there have been a lot of questions about last year, but what does it feel like to get back to the point that you all wanted to get back to have that shot?
Well, 2 or 3 emotions. I really don't think about it a lot. I really don't. It's this team. I'm coaching a new group of kids, and making it back to the national championship game is amazing. Oh, you did that last year? Well, that still makes it even more amazing, kind of thing. But we really don't talk about that all the time. It's like I told you guys ever since I got here, and even in the regionals, the only thing I've said about it is, you guys, when's you had the most fun in your life playing basketball? And everybody said it was last year. I said, well, let's remember that. Let's do the work. Let's put in the time, the work, the sacrifices to make sure we get there. But no, it's an amazing thing, and 351 teams start playing, and this is the second year in a row we won 2 left.
Right up front.
Hi, Tyler Paley, Arizona PBS. How much does your prior experience with your team in the championship matter going up against Gonzaga, which has never been here before?
On game night, kids got to play. That's the bottom line. I've never won a game from the bench, and I may have lost some, but I know I've never won one. We've got to go out and play and do the best we can, and try to do the best we can on offense, and then the best we can on defense, and then the best we can on offense, and the best we can on defense. I looked at the score at halftime as I was walking off the court for the first time, because I was trying to focus on the way we were playing. Question over here was how we struggled offensively. Their defense was better than our offense early, but we helped us later because we started defending a little bit better ourselves, and then we could run out and play against their defense before they got set. Their defense was hard to find the openings that we usually find a lot easier than we did today. But it's very fortunate for us that we're still here playing.
In the second row on the left.
Hey, Coach, Kiera Luck. On Thursday, you said that practice wasn't as good. Was that a reflection of today? Was it like the same thing, or do you see a whole new set of issues?
No, it was a whole new set of issues today. Practice, we stunk it up on Thursday. I mean, we really did. But, we've had 100 practices. Tomorrow will be practice number 101, and that doesn't include 5 to 10 during the break where we just had them come in and shoot. But we want to enjoy the dickens out of this one till midnight tonight, and that's not very far off, I think. And then we'll start focusing on Gonzaga. But Thursday's practice wasn't very good. I'm really thrilled that Joel didn't play very well, but I'm really thrilled that he was able to get through the game and not hurt his ankle anymore, and hopefully he'll play better. Isaiah needs to play better. Joel, I mean, if you look at it, it's 2 of our guys who started almost every game are 3 for 26. That usually means you get beat. But Kennedy and Justin, those guys really made some big plays.
In the third row on the left.
Coach Gavin Shaw, Blaze Radio. You hinted at it a little bit earlier, but do you guys specifically practice tipping the ball out on those free throw plays in the closing seconds of games, or just in general?
We practice tipping out on the free throws unless you can get the ball. If you get one hand on it and try to rebound it and don't come up with it, I'm really mad, because you've got to make a decision. Can you get the ball? And Theo was able to get it, and then Kennedy, of course, was able to get his, but he had it pretty easy. I mean, he had his big grip on it completely. But yes, we work on both of them.
In the back on the right side, Coach Jeff.
Jeff Goodman with ESPN. Roy, with going through the academic investigation, it certainly hurt you guys recruiting-wise. How do you feel like it may have actually been a blessing in terms of getting 3- and 4-year players?
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I know I'm damn sure not the dumbest. I don't think there's 1 second of that thing it's been a blessing. Not 1 second. People have tested my credibility, and I haven't appreciated that. It's been used against us in recruiting. There's not 1 second that I've thought that that was a blessing. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, and I don't have too many enemies, I think.
On the right side toward the front.
Coach John Walters, Newsweek. You've had an opportunity to play in quite a few Final Fours in the football stadiums. When you're out on the court, is it disorienting at all, or do you forget where you are and it's just another basketball game?
You lose yourself in the game. The only thing I don't like is I like to sit on the bench, but it's terrible. You can't see down there. And I mean, so it's so that's a reason. I mean, during the course of a regular game, I sit down, I stand up, sit down, I stand up. But I'd rather sit most of the game. I could have more conversation with my staff and see if anybody's got any different ideas. But you know, we played on a raised floor in 2009. I think it was a level floor in 2005. And frankly, my dear, you could put me anywhere. You could put me in a hangar somewhere. If it's for a national championship, I'd be happy about it.
Final question, back row.
Simi Rieger, Tel Aviv, Israel, Roy. How do you judge how far your team comes from the beginning of your first practice to right now?
You know, this team this year has been a stop, a start, 1 step forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But they've really played pretty darn well on game day. I mean, I've been frustrated with them. Last year, we just got better and better and better. And, you know, we lost 3 or 4 conference games, 4, I guess, but we lost at Louisville, at Notre Dame, at somebody else, and lost to Duke at home. But we kept getting better and better. I've been begging and pleading and cajoling and kicking and stomping and screaming, trying to get them better defensively. And I thought in the second half today we were better defensively than we have been in quite a while. So after 100 practices, I hope you get better a little bit, or it means the coach is not doing a very good job.